So what is your approach toward helping others reach their potential? Because, yeah, you're an expert in marketing and branding, but you're also a leader, right? And I think from observing, you've been somebody that's taken pride in mentoring other people and helping other people succeed and excel. So if I had to ask you how you go about mentoring and guiding people when they're trying to make the most of themselves, what type of guidance do you give?
Yeah, so I've always really enjoyed, leading people, managing people. I love to see other people grow. So I think my approach, so if it's someone that works for me, my approach is I take the let them fly approach. So I believe in autonomy. I believe in letting people make mistakes because, like I said, that's how you really learn them. It's one of the ways we really learn a lot. And you know, I also think that it's even if it's scary for someone, giving them that autonomy, usually going to rise to the occasion. I think I'm pretty good at seeing like where people have strengths and what they're good at and what they could be good at. And so I also believe in pushing them toward those things, with the understanding I'm there. I'm there to catch you if you fall. I will help you through it, but you can do this. And sometimes people just need a push, and I like to push
Right.
them. I like to look out for people in terms of their potential and their career growth. So pushing them to do scary things, pushing them to do professional development. Sometimes it's pushing people even to maybe change jobs. And sometimes that has, I've actually had people that I've lost in the past that I would have wanted to hold on to, would love them. They were the best. But I know for them and their professional growth, the best thing was to move on and do something else that would allow them to flourish in their career journey. So I'm really a fan of pushing and letting them fly.
Okay.
But I think along with that, it doesn't really work if you don't have a good two-way communication and trust. So I think
Yeah.
trust is a huge important piece of that. Because if somebody feels safe, they're going to be more likely to go out and try it, reach their potential. If they know that someone's there and they got their back, I'm going to go to bat for you. If you don't have that safety and you don't have that trust, it's going to be really hard to do.
Oh, wow. So how do you go about building that trust? Because, part of my job is kind of working with leaders on developing their team members, right? And helping guide them on how to build those relationships and connections that foster the trust for them to be able to have honest conversations with their team members. Because if somebody's struggling in something and needs help, sometimes people are reluctant to say anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to build that foundation. How have you gone about building those connections with the people you lead?
So I think starting with that sort of autonomy approach is one thing because you're automatically saying, I'm going to trust you, right? That's what it says to the person. I'm going to trust you. So if someone puts me in a situation like that and they give me the autonomy, I want to rise to the occasion. I'm like, well, they're giving me this responsibility and I want to show them that I can do it. So someone's going to be more likely to want to do that, right? So one way of showing trust is giving them the autonomy. The other thing is, there's always going to be situations that come up that are negative, right? There might be difficult people that you're working with. There might be any host of problems can happen. If you show that you're going to go to bat for that person, you're going to defend that person, you're going to jump in and help when there's a problem and you're not sort of leaving them in the wind to clean up a mistake. I think that goes a long way to foster the trust as well. I also think giving really honest feedback and being a really good listener. So trust and is about communication going two ways, right? If you're not listening, I don't know everything. I'm not perfect. I can learn from people just like they can learn from me, even if they work for me.
Yeah.
So listening to them, they're doing their job every day. If they have some concerns or something to say, I should listen to that. And then if I need to give them feedback, I need to give them honest feedback, but I need
Okay.
to give it in a way that is respectful,
Right.
um, and that is objective and it's not sort of attacking their character or something
Right.
like that. So I think all of that together fosters mutual trust.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what you're describing, it gives me the vibe of somebody who's maybe had a good leader that served as an example. Do you have someone that's been a leader in your life who's kind of inspired you in this way to lead in the manner that you do?
Absolutely. So someone who I've worked with for 20 years and I've worked for him in many capacities. He's always been a mentor of mine, Jeff Reminger, and you know Jeff.
Yeah.
I have immense respect for him. When I first started working for him, he led the sort of division that I worked for, so I wasn't a direct report to him. But then I later became, he became my direct manager at a couple different jobs, and then more recently, I worked with him at a consultancy that he started. So I feel like he's one of the best leaders that I've ever encountered. He has a manner about him that is very calm and he listens. He's also extremely smart and extremely intelligent, and he always does his homework. So any kind of conversation he has, he's prepared for that conversation.
Okay.
He's not going into something blind and just emotionally making decisions. Very, very, very measured. He also gives a tremendous amount of autonomy. I would say, is someone who has pushed me. He's, believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, I think, and has made me, given me the confidence to kind of go in certain directions that I don't think I would have done if he hadn't sort of given me that little push. So he's also funny, and he has a lot of little quips and little sayings that he has. And so, to this day, like my whole life, these little things pop into my head to the point where some of them I even find myself saying to my kids because they're so perfect. So I'll give you two of them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah. One of them, great is the enemy of good. So being a perfectionist, okay, you can relate. Sometimes you just gotta stop. Like, it's really good, it's not trying to keep going and keep going and keep going and wasting cycles to try to make it perfect.
Yeah.
You're actually getting diminishing returns at that point.
Yeah.
Another one that I find myself telling my kids all the time is pick your battles, right? Like you got to pick your battles in every part of your life. You got to pick your battles in a relationship, right? But at work, you've got to pick your battles. Everything cannot be a battle. I was just saying this to my daughter the other day. You don't want to live your life in a war zone. You've got to be able to pick your battles.
Okay.
Do you want to be right, or do you want to get what you want?
Oh, wow.
And
You can
that
apply
one,
you can
that one
apply
kind of
that
makes you
to
think.
you can apply that to marriage.
Yeah, you can. You can apply that to everything, right?
Yeah.
It's another one that I recently said to my daughter. Now, unfortunately, she said, I want to be right, but